Hello, welcome back to Saturday Stories. First off, there is actually a reason I am on Club Penguin Rewritten. First off, look how many days I've been playing this game. 1,700 days. That is insane. I cannot believe I've been playing this game that many days. I am impressed. Let's keep the fun going. Oh, we got our friend request. 2 of them, actually. Okay, this is random. Cool. Wait, how many do we have online? 7 buddies online. Sweet. Okay. And of course, here I am right there. Yes. Hello. Alright, fact is, let's get into Saturday Stories here. Alright, so this is episode 90 of Saturday Stories. And yes, I do have my face cam on purpose for the point of this Saturday Stories, is to explain some change of plans I've made with some events in the backyard. Those up to, and the room Christmas decoration project. Yeah, I've made some decisions on some of those things regarding those free places. Well, the room Christmas decoration project is just a project. The other 2 are, well, just places. Well, the backyard is the only real life place, of course, as always. Okay, but let me get to the real point. So, I'm obviously going to go in order from when I originally announced these. I originally announced these on the November 3rd, 2021 update video, which, as of recording this video, that was 3 days ago. So, let me talk about why I made these decisions on these events. First off, by starting off with, of course, Elemental Month. So you all might have noticed, and I told you guys that the beacons of the Underground Party Room, aka just the whole lab in general, the lab beacons, have been changed back to normal. Formerly, they were in the colors of yellow, orange, and red to celebrate the celebration of fire with part 1 of the Elemental Month. However, as you can see, the beacons have changed back to their normal colors from when the lab has no events going on whatsoever. And of course, as you could expect, that is exactly what happened. Elemental Month is no more. Let me explain why. So originally when I came out with Elemental Month, I realized, first off, yes, it was actually a pretty cool idea. I really thought it was cool. And then I put it into Zolazov 2 on November 4th. It was originally meant to start November 1st and end December 1st for this Elemental Month. The Celebration of Fire was meant to go for the first 7 days of November, which meant if that was going on to this very day, and I'm not exact schedule, this would have been day 6 of that. However, since it came out on the 4th, this would have been day 3 of it if it were still going on right now. So, I created Elemental Month with the purpose of giving even more attention to the dojos after originally doing so in the Elemental Party in July 2020. And I will admit, that event was an absolute success. It really did give more attention to the dojos, and actually did give a ton of new features and decorations overall. And that's why that event is a success. So that's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and also, if any of you were generally curious, the skyscraper is gone now, by the way, for the Halloween party. Yep, that's gone now. So everything Halloween related is gone now. Thankfully. Again, let me explain what happened. Basically, after I set up Elemental Month, and of course just Celebration of Fire overall, of course I placed Fire Sheep and Sensei Wooly around the lab to celebrate. Sensei Wooly would just be celebrating all of Elemental Month, while Fire Sheep would of course be celebrating their respective element of fire, obviously. After setting it up, however, around a day later, I realized, what the absolute heck is this even meant for? There's a reason I say that. I realized, after setting it up, I realized, wait a minute. We're not going to get anything new out of this event even happening. Well, technically, not every single event in Zoazab or Zoazab 3, Zoazab 2 or 3 has to be having anything new in it. It's just very recently we've had a lot of new stuff in events lately. But then I realized another thing. Wait a minute. This is basically just the elemental party again. Just with the only one element being celebrated at a time instead of all three, or sorry, should I say 4, all being celebrated at once. Which is what exactly happened in the elemental party last July. And again, that event was a success, 100%. I realized, and first off, let me break down the elemental party for a second. So basically that event again was a celebration of the 3 main elements, fire, water, and snow, alongside the brand new element, sky, which this event also technically marked the introduction of the Sky Dojo, which to this day is still my most clever idea for the dojos. Obviously we got Sky Sheep, which was amazing, and it's all still up there to this day in the sky. The Sky Dojo was obviously still there to this day as a permanent addition. In that event, you had to hunt down for the elemental sheep and get them back into the dojo to reveal how to get to the Sky Dojo. Unfortunately, I couldn't remember. The thing you had to do was you had to remember why the dojos were even created. Unfortunately, I couldn't remember. So, yeah. But the point is, we did unlock the Sky Dojo anyway. We got the Sky Dojo armor, or just the Sky armor overall, and it was just a great time. When setting up Elemental Month, however, realizing, wait, this is exactly like the Elemental Party. And then I gave second thoughts. Yeah, I just said, this is basically just the Elemental Party again, with nothing new in it at all, and just only one element being celebrated instead of all 4 of them at once. The only other new addition I could say was the fire banners, and yes, I still have those, just to remember that. So basically, if we weren't going to get a new dojo, if there was nothing interesting about it with 0 things to do, besides look at the cool fire decorations, and of course get the fire banner, what was the point of holding this? Seriously, in the events in Zoazab 2 and 3, alongside the backyard and Lego's Island and basically all the worlds, I normally have things in the events to do. I forgot to plan that concept of what the heck we should do for the missions, or sorry, just a scavenger hunt in general. I forgot to do that. And with that being said, I realized after that point, what was even the point of holding this? I also mainly realized we have not had the lab normal, aka a break from events, since before the fair, which took place from August 15th through the 26th. And as you guys know, the lab has had no events, no break in between events since before the fair. Basically, since before the time between the end of Lab of Doom through right before the fair began. Basically, the ultimate theme park was being built during the 2 months that the lab was normal, with no events whatsoever. And we've not had any of the lab event breaks since then. So I also realized it's also time to take a break from events. And that's also after I realized, yeah, Elemental Month was kind of pointless if we don't have, say, like a scavenger hunt to do. And the fire banner was literally the only item. I could have added more items, but I just didn't. I could have added a scavenger hunt, more items, and just there was just nothing that would come out of this event. It's just a random celebration of the elements, which is exactly what just happened in last July. We're basically just repeating the elemental party. That's when I began to realize, yeah, we're taking down the event. I know. We were looking forward to this for a bit of time. I honestly kind of forgot I was going to hold it anyway. And then I only remembered once the Halloween party ended. I have mentioned it before. But then after realizing that nothing was really going to come out of this, we had no new dojo, no scavenger hunt, only one item. What was even the point of holding this? Seriously. It just felt like the elemental party again. And that's kind of exactly what it felt like. Just with only one element being celebrated instead of all four. While the elemental party was an absolute success, and I will definitely hold it again in the future, you bet that. Not next year though, I already have next year all planned. For both Zoa's Up 2 and Lego's Out. And I still gotta work on Zoa's Up 3 though. Which I'll probably get that done by the end of the year. I'm also still working on the backyard for next year, but I'll probably have that done by the end of the year. Speaking of the backyard, we will be talking about that in this video, as I said at the beginning. So, with all that being said, I took down Elemental Month. I changed everything back to normal for the lab. So the lab is back to being normal for the first time since before the fair. And I did set up the Evil Sheet Leader 6th anniversary celebration. I still gotta take that down as of this video being filmed. I still have to go take that down because it was only meant to be up for like a day, and technically it has. So, with all that being said, Elemental Month is no longer a thing. I don't know if we're gonna be holding it again in the future. I'll just have to see if I can come up with anything interesting that'll actually make it worth holding in the lab. Because I didn't think this through. I really should have thought of things through before actually holding the event. So, I don't know if we're going to be doing Elemental Month again, even though it never really happened at all. This is kind of the same thing that happened with Operation Dimensions when we originally released it. Once I released it on December 4th, 2020, we did nothing with it after. So we pretty much just took it down and replaced it with the Christmas party on December 16th. Oh, you know what's funny? The Christmas event for Zoa's Up 2 this year starts on the exact same day as last year's. That's actually kind of hilarious, actually. Don't worry. It ends a lot earlier than last year's, though. So the backyard and lab Christmas events literally start the same day, just in case all of you were curious. With all of that out of the way, let's talk about the next thing I changed my mind about. Which, if you probably heard earlier, the room Christmas decoration project. This one is one of my main things I wanted to talk about. Ah yes, the room Christmas decoration project. You guys heard me announce that I was going to bring it back for a sequel on November 5th through the 26th of this year in 2021. However, after a clear decision of mine, realizing that, like Elemental Month, this would eventually become pointless. Here's the reason why. Last year, in 2020, yes, for as bad as that year was, the main reason I even did the room Christmas decoration project to clearly begin with, and I know I already addressed this, but I'll do it again, one last time. I did the room Christmas decoration project as a clear distraction from how bad last year was. And honestly, I think we all can agree that was truly understandable why I even made this project. Because, come on, we all needed to forget how bad last year was. And doing this truly did help me forget how bad last year was. It truly distracted from the horribleness that last year was in 2020. It worked. However, this year, in 2021, I have come to a clear conclusion that there's no point in doing it again. this year wasn't really that bad at all, aside from losing the ranch in the summer. But that's just only one thing. Everything else in this year was great. Everything else, besides what I just addressed, was great. I mean, we got almost everything back that we normally would do in a usual year. We even got Tennessee this year, which I never had been to fully before this year, so that was great. But mainly, the fact is, there's nothing to distract this project has, like, it won't distract me from anything bad that happened this year, because almost nothing bad happened this year. I don't need to do this project again because there is literally nothing to distract me with again this year. That will make me... There's nothing bad this year that'll make me want to do this project again. That's what I'm trying to address here. So, yes, with a clear conclusion, there is no Christmas Decoration Project 2, or just 2021 in general. Honestly, I think we all would have saw this coming, because, come on! This year wasn't really that bad at all. It was actually pretty good. Way better than last year, obviously. And because of that, there's no point in doing this again. Again, I think we all can still understand why I did this last year. Because, again, last year sucked. But yeah, that was like the only reason I did this last year. And because this year did not suck at all, thankfully. It was really good. There's just no point in doing this again. There's just no point. And I also only just realized for a minute, I'm only literally just going to be decorating my room for Christmas literally right here on the 26th. And that's just only a few weeks away. So, yeah. Of course, when I do that, of course, I'm always just going to design the room the way I was going to when I was originally thinking of doing this project. And, yeah. So, in conclusion, no, this is never coming back. This was a one-time thing and will never, ever come back for the rest of eternity. This was a one-time thing to never be seen again. And technically, here's the thing. Before even telling you guys that I was going to bring it back, I was never even originally going to bring back this project anyway. I was never, ever going to intend on ever bringing this project back in the first place. I only thought of it like last week on October 29th. Which means I only thought of it very recently. Very, very recently. Like about 1 or 2 weeks ago. And then I realized, what is even the point? Just like Elemental Month, what's even the point of doing this when the year wasn't even that bad at all? There's nothing to distract myself with. There's no thing that this project should just distract me with because this year wasn't that bad at all. So yeah, there's no point in holding this again. There's no point in doing this again. Of course, Midnight Fun will obviously happen this month on both my computer right here and, of course, obviously all in real life. As always. So, yeah. Of course, starting in Late Night Countdowns this month on November 30th, the last official Late Night Countdowns of the month, or just, sorry, the whole year, this room obviously will already be decorated for Christmas, which will be just the right time, and it'll be pretty much right after Thanksgiving, which is normally when I decorate my room for Christmas every year. I only did it early last year because last year was a total frick. So, with that being said, that second thing out of the way, let's get to the last one. Y'all remember how I said I was originally going to be doing the bike derby from November 8th through the 15th of November? Yeah, that isn't the case anymore. Hold on. The bike derby is still a thing, thankfully. Alongside the Back Your Games, which was originally meant to be held from November 19th through the 26th. However, there's a problem. Both of those events require the ground. And let me just make it clear, it has been raining a lot lately where I am. Meaning there are mud puddles all over the yard, mainly where the garden and shed are. And if I kick the soccer ball or any other ball around the yard, it's just going to get extremely dirty. And of course, I'll have to clean off everything that gets dirty from it. Because it'll probably obviously just land in all the mud in the puddles that came from it because of all the rain that's been happening over the last few months, mainly this summer. But thankfully, it has dried up lately. Not recently because it only just rained yesterday, so yeah. With that being said, the same thing goes for my bike. I don't want to be riding my bike in the mud piles across the backyard. Now, although I could do it in the front yard, remember, this is the backyard we're talking about. Remember that. I have done the bike derby in the front yard, though. I think that was last year, actually, in 2020. So, don't worry. Both of those events are still occurring this year. Now, I know it's crazy because the year is about to end in like 2 months. But don't worry. I thought of a backup plan. Instead, I will be holding both the bike derby and the backyard games all at once from December 9th through the 16th of 2021. Which, iconically, that is actually December 9th is the day the winter party ends. So that's cool, right? Anyway. But do you really think that's all? Now, you guys know I love going insane with some of these backyard events. And that is why, at the exact same time as the bike derby and backyard game both going on at the exact same time as each other, a new events will be there at the exact same time. Now, of course, you guys know what event I normally do when free events are being held at the exact same time. 3-in-1 Festival. Now, although this is an old event, there is one new event in there called the Christmas Scavenger Hunt. A little callback to the Halloween Scavenger Hunt. Huh? Yep. The Halloween Scavenger Hunt. You guys remember that from like over a month ago to prepare for the Halloween party when it was all done in black and white? Don't worry, there's no effect that will be going on during the Christmas Scavenger Hunt. It'll all be in color, of course, because there's no point in doing it black and white, because that's meant for Halloween. Although the black and white, I can do whenever I want. But I think I said that after the Halloween episode I would never do that again for like the rest of the year. And that's the case. I'll bring it back again sometime next year. So basically that will be at the exact same time as both the bike derby and the backyard games. All at the same time. 3 events in one. So how awesome is that? The 3-in-1 Festival is back with 2 big events going on at the same time alongside a third one being a brand new event all going on at once. Bringing back the 3-in-1 Festival from December 9th through the 16th. On December 16th, the Christmas event will begin and will end December 27th, lasting 11 days total, making this the first ever Christmas event in the backyard to not end in January. That's another little new twist I added in this year for Christmas. Beautiful, right? I'm actually changing things up finally. But, of course, the winter party isn't going to be occurring till nearly the end of the month. Specifically, November 29th through December 9th. Yeah. Who thought I forgot about the winter party? Yeah. I'm pretty sure we all did. Or I could be wrong. But the point is, there has to be something in the middle of the month to take both the Backyard Games and Bike Derby's places until December. And you bet that, just like what I just said, I thought of another backup plan. Please welcome back the Night of Lights. Yep, Night of Lights is back again this year. Now, you're probably thinking, Lego, you already held Night of Lights in this year. Well, yes, you are correct. I did hold Night of Lights already this year. However, first off, that was for Night of Lights' first anniversary. Now, I originally did confirm that that would be Night of Lights of the year. However, if you guys noticed during that event, I didn't update anything after day 2. That's because I was still in that phase where I just randomly decided to not film a backyard video for around 3 to 4 weeks to even a month. There would be at least 3 to 4 weeks to even a month without even an episode of backyard videos at the beginning of this whole year. All the way through until like July or something. You guys remember that? From January to July this year, there was almost no backyard videos per month. That was kind of the main reason why Night of Lights wasn't updated much. I also just forgot to go back out to the backyard in general during that event to just update the lights. So now, I'm giving myself a second chance this month to hopefully actually do it. Thankfully, now I'm back on track with backyard videos. I'm doing them almost every day now, thankfully. Yes, you should be proud of that. And now I'm just giving myself a second chance to redeem myself for this year's Night of Lights. And actually, going forward, I'm going to be doing Night of Lights, the event, whenever I want in the year. Obviously, only one Night of Lights per year. But now, as of this year, I can do it in any month that I want now. I am no longer limited to February. I am going to do it in any month I want for the Night of Lights for that respective year. This year, I've just decided to do it in November. I know I could have been a little bit smarter and did it in December. However, the winter party and Christmas event are literally only a week apart. That means I would have to do that same week of the winter party ending and then the week prior to the Christmas event. I just didn't want to do that. Because I want the backyard to not have any events during that time. But now I have to make that mistake. I have to kind of destroy that idea. Anyway, point is, there is another reason I'm holding Night of Lights again. First off, I needed to find an event that had nothing to do with the ground. Because you never know, it could be raining a lot more during this month, and more mud piles could be showing up near the garden and shed. And secondly, I could get all my decorations dirty because of that reason. So I needed to find an event that had nothing where decorations would be on the ground. Because I could get them potentially dirty by the mud and puddles that are around the backyard due to the rain in the last few months. And all I could think of was, well, again, Night of Lights. Because that has nothing to do with the ground, because all the lights are hanging on the fences and the shed and just basically anything that isn't the ground on like the trees and stuff. So see, I'm actually being smart for once and actually coming up with very smart ideas for what I want to do for the next backyard event. This event will begin on November 15th and end the 22nd, giving us exactly a week to prepare for the winter party on the 29th. Construction for the Night of Lights will begin Friday, November 12th. The construction for the winter party will begin Friday, November 26th, which is also the day after Thanksgiving. And it's the same day I decorate this whole room in my entire house for Christmas. So, hey, perfect timing! Beautiful. Anyway, with all of that being said, those are the 3 things that I changed my mind on for those 3 things. I know it would have been very exciting to see all 3 of those things happen. Thankfully, the only thing that is technically still a thing is the Bike Derby and Backyard Games still happening in this year in the backyard. They're just only postponed by a month. Just because in December where I am, it almost never rains. And that's because it's winter at that time. Which means in December, it normally does not really rain as much. Which will give just enough time for all the mud piles to dry up and hopefully turn back into grass. Which will give me the ability to ride my bike and, do the backyard games. And the bike derby. Because I won't have to worry about any of my stuff relating to those events getting all dirty and messed up. So, that is a very smart decision on my part. With all that being said, the only one out of these things that are never, ever officially coming back is the Room Christmas Decoration Project. Elemental Month, I may bring back in the future potentially if I can come up with something very cool for it. But as for right now, I think we just need to focus on the real next event Inzo's up to, which is Operation Dimensions, which was meant to be held a year ago this month, but it wasn't. And plus, I also think the lab should be back to normal for the next few weeks until November 18th. By the way, November 18th through the 25th is Operation Dimensions officially. After that, we will have a week and a half to prepare for Operation Zola's Lab on December 4th. Speaking of which, that is 4 weeks from today, everybody. Beautiful. Anyway, and that is exactly why the next Zola's Lab 2 video is on November 11th for the construction of Operation Dimensions. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching Saturday Stories this week, guys. Tune into next week's on Saturday, November 13th, which, by the way, I already have the next 2 episodes planned. One of them I have been wanting to do for a while, and the other one I only had just come up with a few hours before making this video. But I'm saving that last one for November 20th. I still have to think of one for November 27th. But I'll think of that in the future. Once we get close to it, of course. See y'all next time. By the way, I think next week's story is going to be the entire Zola's Lab 2 World Rebuild project. The entire history of it. Which I don't think will take extremely long, because I'll probably talk about it for short periods of time for each part of it. And then the next one, I thought of the idea pretty briefly earlier. I'll reveal it in the update video leading up to November 27th, which will be... No, sorry, the update video leading up to November 20th, which will be November 17th. There we go, my mistake. I was thinking of the 4th Saturday of this month, but that's November 27th, which is 3 weeks from now. Alright, see you tomorrow for the Sunday vlog, backyard videos, and... actually, that's all I can think of. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody. Wait, hold up. There will be Midnight Fun tomorrow night. There we go. That's better.